Fame, fortune, and a family curse? A legendary fortune. A world-famous name. But is this family cursed? This video discusses sensitive topics including death, addiction, depression, and suicide. Viewer discretion is advised. If you or someone you know is struggling, please consider reaching out to a mental health professional or support line in your area. It all starts with Sir Arthur, born in 1725 into an aristocratic Irish family. With an inheritance of £100, he opened a small establishment in Dublin, a bold move that would shape the destiny of generations to come. That modest business grew into a worldwide institution, making Arthur and his family incredibly wealthy. He lived to the age of 78 and was well respected. But behind the success, some whispered of a curse. Indeed, Sir Arthur had 21 children, yet half of them died before him. A tragic fact, but not unusual for the 18th century, where child mortality was heartbreakingly high. In reality, the cause was mainly infectious diseases and lack of proper medicine. So, were the whispers wrong? Maybe. But let's keep going. The story isn't over. We will reveal the name of the family at the end of the video, so stay tuned to find out. And if you think you know, drop your guess in the comments. A politician assassinated. One of Arthur's descendants became a British politician posted in Cairo. One evening, he arrived at his official residence. His secretary, sitting beside him in the car, noticed two men standing near the entrance. It was an ambush. The politician was shot 3 times in the car. He was rushed to the hospital, underwent surgery, but died. His driver was also fatally wounded. The attackers were arrested. They belonged to a militant group called the Fighters for the Freedom of Israel. They were sentenced to death and executed in early 1945, a brutal assassination perpetrated by Israeli terrorists. But what was the reason? This politician had helped shape the 1939 White Paper, a British policy limiting Jewish immigration to Palestine. Do you think there's a curse here? Let's keep going. Adultery, fascism, and Hitler at the wedding. Next comes his son, Brian, one of the most eligible bachelors in 1920s London, part of the aristocratic, bright young things. In 1929, he married Diana Mitford, and they had 2 sons. Everything seemed ideal. But in 1934, Diana met Sir Oswald Mosley, leader of the British Union of Fascists, and started an affair with him. She craved independence in a misogynistic world where she wasn't given any, and Mosley promised that. So she left Brian. But Oswald didn't leave his wife, at least not immediately. Soon after, Mosley's wife died of peritonitis. Some rumored he poisoned her. Mosley and Diana finally married in Berlin, 1936, with Hitler present. Some say Diana disregarded Mosley's fascism and acted out of love. Others, including MI5, believe she was far more dangerous than her husband. So, here, the curse would have corrupted Brian's wife in order for her to leave him and break his heart in a scandalous way. Or maybe, she is a person who can think for herself and make her own decisions. I know, that's hard to conceptualize for some people. Let me know what you think. Next family story. Death and a Beatles song. In 1945, Patrick was born, another heir to the family fortune. By the 1960s, he was part of London's elite party scene, hanging out with the Beatles, Bowie, Hendrix, and others. But on December 18, 1966, at age 21, he died in a car crash. The tragedy inspired the Beatles song, A Day in the Life. A big family will have some tragedy, especially spread out through generations, right? Or maybe there is indeed a family curse? Lady Henrietta, tragedy in Italy. Lady Henrietta, also an heiress, survived a car crash. Years later, after marrying Luigi Mariani and moving to Italy, she took her own life in 1978, jumping from the Ponte del Torre. She struggled with depression and once said, "If I had been poor, I would have been happy." So, could wealth itself be the curse? Okay, we have cracked it. A regular family might have less tragedies than this one. But let's look at the differences between this family and a regular family. They are wealthy. With that wealth comes fame, privilege, easy access to anything good or bad, and probably a specific set of rules and obligations. Yes, that's probably the main cause here. There is no such thing as a curse, right? A deadly year, 1978. That same year, the family suffered multiple tragedies. A 4-year-old named Peter died in a car crash. One member died from a suspected drug overdose. Another was found dead under mysterious circumstances. 1 year, 3 deaths. Well, okay, let's move on. Kidnapping, ransom, and a fatal climb. John, a prominent Dublin banker, walked into horror on April 8, 1986. Returning home, he found his wife and daughter tied up. He was also overpowered, and his wife was taken by the attackers. They demanded $2.6 million. But John managed to escape and alert police. After 8 days, his wife was rescued unharmed. No ransom paid. Okay, we're out of the woods, right? Tragedy struck again just 2 years later. While climbing Mount Snowdon in Wales with his wife, son, and friends, John fell over 500 feet to his death. Another grim chapter in this family's tale. Drugs, death, and scandal. Later in 1986, Olivia, another heiress, was found dead from a drug overdose in a friend's dorm at Oxford's Christ Church College. During the investigation, another family member was jailed for 4 months for drug possession. Let's use this time in the video to say, may they all rest in peace. Sheelin and Honor, 2 more tragedies in a family marked by misfortune. Sheelin Rose was 31 years old. On October 30th, 1998, she had something special planned to celebrate her mother's birthday, a ride in a horse-drawn caravan for 6 of her young relatives. That morning was peaceful. The air was still, the roads quiet. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Sheelin set out alone in the caravan near her mother's home, preparing for the day's festivities. But then, something unexplainable happened. The horse, usually calm and well-trained, suddenly bolted. Witnesses heard no loud noises, saw no flashing lights, no passing vehicles. Just silence followed by chaos. Sheelin was thrown from the moving wagon and crushed beneath it. Despite her experience and control, there was nothing she could do. To this day, no one knows what startled the horse. The cause remains a mystery, just another unexplained tragedy in a family haunted by so many. Alright, this one might be hard to explain. We don't know what happened. That doesn't mean there is no explanation. Honor, a final swim, a summer that ended in silence. The year 2020 had already brought its fair share of grief. We all know about that. But on July 31st, tragedy struck again, sudden and entirely unexpected. Honor, just 19 years old, was enjoying a summer evening at the family estate in Sussex. After spending some time in the hot tub, she decided to take a quiet swim on her own. Not long after, her younger brother discovered a terrifying sight. Honor was lying motionless at the bottom of the pool. She was pulled out immediately. Her shoulder was broken, and she had sustained serious brain injuries. Despite being rushed to the hospital, she never regained consciousness. 6 days later, she passed away. It's believed she may have hit her head while jumping or entering the pool, leaving her unable to swim or call for help. So, who are they? This family is none other than the Guinness family, an empire born from beer. Arthur Guinness founded the famous Dublin brewery in 1759. Since then, the family has built an empire. Wealth, nobility, scandal, and philanthropy all intertwined. Today, their fortune is estimated at £900 million to £1 billion. But behind the legend, another story seems to be unfolding. Time and time again, tragedy strikes. So, what do you think? Is it a curse? Or just a string of tragic coincidences? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one.